My parents were my first mentors. I've thought about this previously, and I thought back to my dad's belief in his daughters that we could do anything we put our mind to. That was the message he and my mother told my sister and I over and over again. And in that day and age, occupations, opportunities that were available to women were very selective, and to African American women even more so.
My mentor was a teacher I had, Mrs. Barnowski.
I actually had a great mentor. His name is Randy. And so he actually started working with me when I was in middle school, and it really started that he was supporting me more in my social experience and trying to make school more important to me and kind of help figure out the things that were going on at home and how I could have power to change those. And so he started with me in middle school and continues to mentor me now, even professionally.
And I think I got to age 62 because of the mentoring that I had at an early age from my grandmother, from my aunts, my uncles, my mother, who taught me the core values on how to live right and how to become a good person.
My grandma mentored me a lot, which was interesting because she'd never had the opportunity to pursue higher education. But yeah, she helped me develop the skill sets and the tenacity that I needed in order to keep going where I wanted to go. Larry Estrada, absolutely, without a doubt, was an incredibly important mentor by the time I got to undergrad, as far as advising, listening, guiding. Yeah, so those are two, I think, really important people.
I had an awesome lady. Her name was Joyce Judy. She was kind of assigned to me to be my mentor through the College Success Foundation Achiever Scholarship Program, and I met with her once, twice a month while I was going through my junior and senior year of high school, and she was really instrumental in just providing encouragement. She had 2 master's degrees and talking about just the attainment, like career attainment you could get to with, continuing on through your education and transferring from the high school level into my college years. My on-campus advisor was Antonio Escada, who's actually still my mentor today, and he was really instrumental in just encouraging me, push yourself, go beyond your limits, keep going. Just, as a person of color, as someone who comes from an urban community, what can you do to be an example for younger students who are in your community?
At Leschi Elementary School, Ora Franklin and Maxine Mims took, I believe, every single child at Leschi Elementary School under their wing. And they not only mentored us while we were in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th and 6th, but all throughout life. And when I started working for Seattle Public Schools, Ora Franklin was right there in administration to lead the way. And when I decided to go back and complete my degree, who was sitting there at the table but Maxine Mims, Dr. Maxine Mims at Evergreen Tacoma campus.
I was a kind of a shy kid, really focused on academics and kind of flew under the radar, a lot of times not drawing attention to myself, but looking back I was really at risk for a lot of things too because I wasn't really connected or engaged, kind of a loner. And Mrs. Barnowski, not that she sought me out, but she certainly saw me, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, took an interest in me, and every day when I would come to class would make a point of reaching out and saying good morning and kind of drawing me in. And so I became part of her class, and then that was able to generate into other parts of school, and I got more confidence and got more involved in things, and I really look back, and she really provided me a lot of the kind of life skills or just different perspectives and ways to look at things that I think helped me.
I often found myself in situations academically, professionally, that were new for my family. So I didn't have that sounding board at home or in my social circle where I could say, go and take these questions to somebody who'd been there before. This was completely new territory, and there were times when I got lost and struggled in academia where I wasn't seeing people that reflected my community in the positions of authority. I wasn't hearing histories that represented the voices that I come from. And so that mentoring was absolutely critical. I wouldn't have had the emotional strength to continue if I hadn't had people that I could check in with periodically that could say, I hear you, I see you, I understand you, and I know what this feels like, or something close to what you're feeling right now, and I believe in you, and you need to keep going.
He always told me that it was my responsibility to give back. So I went through a lot of things in my childhood and had a lot of experiences, and he would always tell me that they were happening for a reason, and what I was learning, I would one day have a responsibility to share that back with folks in my community. And so the way that I do give back is I started mentoring and tutoring when I was in school, both in my K-12 experience, but then in college specifically, I would connect back and work with our local schools. And then professionally, I ended up working in the college access field because it was in college that I really changed my life and was able to really support my family. And so I now continue to do that work every day, and working with students, especially those that are like me, think about how they can also change their lives through continued education.
In my everyday work, the work that I do is mentoring, extending mentoring through our staff. The work that we do in terms of college preparation, college advising, we know it goes beyond teaching a student about how to access dollars, but it is listening to them, encouraging them, motivating them, sharing our own stories with them, as well as stories of others that we know that might help them in their journey, as well as hearing from them ideas that we can then pass on to others.
I think the work that I'm doing today as an advisor and a mentor is probably the most distinctive, distinguished, and proud time that I'm experiencing. Working with a young generation who I see as flowering buds of leadership, the people who will do the deep critical thinking and the wise decision making for the future of the world. I think mentoring right now is probably the most profound and deep spirit work that I'm doing.
I remember there was a program in one of the state bar associations or county bar associations or some group where you could sign up to be a mentor, or you could sign up seeking a mentor. And I remember the questions that you were filling out to be a mentor. People really got afraid, thinking that, I have to be the master of all of this knowledge that I'm going to impart to this person that I'm mentoring. And for me, I've always had a very different view of mentoring, where I'm sharing of myself and my experiences, but there's absolutely learning that goes the other direction as well. I learn so much from my students as far as in my work at the university, different experiences within education, different challenges that each one of these students has that they're sharing with me on a personal level that can help me to be a more effective teacher to students who might have the same issues, but we might never find ourselves in a situation where that can be shared. And so I think when I learn from the students that I work with individually, it makes me a more well-rounded educator.
I really love seeing my students' faces when they do achieve goals. Of course, there's always the great big ones when they do graduate and or when they're accepted to college. But even when they can celebrate those little goals, that I'm going to make this plan that I'm going to study X number of hours, or I'm going to get a certain grade on a test, or I'm going to talk to my mom about this really tough topic that's been bothering me. So it's just great when watching them achieve their goals and celebrating with them, because those are the things that they were thinking of as obstacles, and now they know, they have evidence that they can do what they put their minds to.
One mentee that's coming to mind right now that I started working with her junior year when she was at Foster High School. She's now a junior at Seattle Pacific University, and I still meet with her once or twice a quarter, check in with her, making sure she's on track. She's a phenomenal, straight A student, on top of it, very involved in the community, also an Achiever Scholar, very involved in the scholarship program, and she's really passionate about her goals. And having met her when she was 16 or 17 and watching her grow and develop through the process has really taught me a lot about my advising style, how I impact the lives of my students that I work with, how I can learn from someone who's 6 or 7 years younger than me and what affects her currently.
Mentoring is important because it helps to show others the way, to help avoid some pitfalls, to help provide a map, if you will. And especially in the work that we do, the education is a key to the future. And mentoring can play such a pivotal role there. And mentoring really is education. And so there's great value in mentoring.
As a woman of color, I feel like I want to see more young women of color succeeding. I've had some phenomenal mentors within the community of higher education, within the nonprofit sector, within my church community, just phenomenal women who have been so encouraging. And to see that example, okay, I'm 26 years old, but when I'm 36, 46, 56, these are the goals that I have for myself, and whether those are professional, social, or personal, it's good to see that other women have been there, have done that, and they're still kicking, they're still striving.
We owe it. We owe it to the world. We owe it to others when we share what we've learned about life, and having the confidence and our competence to share that. We owe it to the youth of today, because we can lead them on a path towards equitable and just leadership, so that the decisions they make for the world are good ones.
I have been mentored.
I have been mentored.
I was mentored.
I mentor. Will you mentor?
Will you mentor?
Will you be a mentor?